Welcome to Victory Yard and a meeting in the 1971 NBA Finals between some of the game's legends. Milwaukee's Oscar Robertson and young Lou Alcindor against Baltimore's Earl Monroe and Wes Unseld. The Bullets had reached the finals by stunning the defending champions, the New York Knicks, in the conference finals. But the Bullets paid dearly for it as they stumbled into the championship series, tired and hurt. And now they had to face Oscar Robertson, who had never won an NBA title in 10 seasons. As Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar recalled years later, the Big O, quote, was determined to crush anybody in his path to get to that title. We were all ready, but Oscar had this rage to win, unquote. Milwaukee won the first 3 games and was one victory away from a sweep. As often happens with decades-old events like this one, the first half of the game seems to have vanished. But we're fortunate to be able to show you the second half. So let's go to the Baltimore Civic Center, April 30th, 1971, and join Chris Schenkel and Jack Twyman for the call of the second half of Game 4 of the 1971 NBA Finals.
All right, we're looking at the Baltimore bench, and they have scored 6 straight points, stealing the ball twice, and it's what Oscar Robertson said at halftime. They're just trying to keep the ball away from the Bullets. So, the 13-point lead at halftime in less than a minute has been cut to 7 by the Baltimore Bullets, who must win or it's all over. 11:02 to go, third quarter. Milwaukee with the ball. Robertson 1 to 14 McLaughlin. Pair of fine backcourt men. Marin guarding Robertson. Johnson guarding Dandridge. A loop into Lou Alcindor. Gives it back to Robertson. Robertson around Johnson. Johnson. The shot comes off. Dandridge gets the rebound. So it's the first field goal for Milwaukee. 62-53 here in the third quarter. Monroe. Ooh, in and out. Greg Smith comes off the rebound. He and Dandridge are the forwards for Milwaukee. There's Dandridge. Unseld tries to control it. Has it. It comes to Monroe. Monroe down. Let's see if he gets up. Oscar gets it. Gives it to Dandridge. No good. Coming down to the ball is Greg Smith of Milwaukee. Hooks it back out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Dandridge. And Oscar Robertson. 62-53. McLaughlin. Ooh. 4 straight points by the Bucks. 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Carter, number 3. Driving on McLaughlin. Trying to get around Alcindor. Can't. Lou gets the rebound. Robertson. An assist to Greg Smith, a man with peripheral vision. Unbelievable. And with 9 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third quarter here at Civic Center in Baltimore, the score, the Bucks 66, the Bullets 53.
You give the ball in Oscar's hands, something's going to happen. He's either going to get the shot where and when he wants it, or he's going to get an assist. And he also, see, Oscar fools you. Oscar was a good rebounder. We know he was a fine passer. We know he was a great shooter. But he was a pretty good defensive player. And he was a pretty good rebounder. Oscar was what you epitomize as the all-around perfect guard.
You can see the time. Wittenberg. Oh, it's a long ways.
You're watching ESPN Classic. The Bulls' 6th NBA championship season is over, but you can relive the excitement with the official Chicago Bulls NBA Finals book and video. The memories were many, the emotions intense, the thrills were hard to count. The book and video give you 2 different ways to keep that championship feeling. Both are available in stores now by calling 1-800-NBA-HOOPS or through NBA.com.
Hey, we work here in the ESPN the Magazine shipping department. We really love our jobs, especially these days because, well, we're sending out a free gift to all the new subscribers. There's no time to lose. Subscribers are waiting. We need to send out these official ESPN the Magazine sweatshirts ASAP. Right, buddy?
Hey, it's the ESPN the Magazine sweatshirt. Well, all right.
Now's a great time to subscribe to ESPN the Magazine because we're sending every new subscriber this official heavy-duty ESPN the Magazine sweatshirt absolutely free with your paid subscription.
Hey, Wally. Hey, picture me working out in this great sweatshirt, man. Oh, it's got the ESPN the Magazine logo right up front.
That's great, Ralph. Please shove a sweatshirt in a box.
I've always loved this shade of blue. Oh, and it's an extra large, so it even fits me. Hey, it looks pretty good on you, too.
Listen, I think we're getting a little backed up here. Boss really wants us to get these out.
Subscribe now to ESPN the Magazine and get your sports the way it ought to be. Big and bold with unbelievable photos. Honest interviews that'll surprise you. Previews and predictions. The ins, outs, and insights that give you our take on the teams to beat and the players to watch. Plus regular reports by your favorite ESPN personalities. Call now and get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. $1 an issue. That's 66% off the newsstand price. And with your paid subscription, you'll get your very own ESPN the Magazine sweatshirt free.
Help me, Ralph. I'm begging you.
It's hard to believe this great sweatshirt is free. I mean, I wonder what lucky subscriber is going to get this one, huh?
No subscriber is going to get that one, Ralph, unless you put it in a box.
Call now for ESPN the Magazine and your free official sweatshirt. 1-800-909-3344. That's 1-800-909-3344.
New York Mets are amazing, 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 amazing.
I'll show you what a real champion is. I'll show you what a real champion is.
Gives to Amici. The Cubs are the world champions.
Hey, out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. The winner, Sugar Ray Leonard.
We now return to the NBA on Classic Sports Network.
Here's that fast break run by Oscar Robertson. Watch how he slows up, allowing the forwards to get down. Then he hits Greg Smith with a blind pass. He was looking the other way, clearing the way for Greg Smith. You just saw the master at his craft, Oscar Robertson on a fast break. And while we were out at that commercial, Earl Monroe left the floor with Skip Feldman, the Baltimore trainer. So Earl Monroe is in the locker room.
And his replacement is Kevin Lockery, number 22. Jack Marin, 24, guarded by Smith. Marin still not finding the range. Alcindor on an easy rebound to Robertson. Marin is 3 for 12 as Dandridge now gets it back outside to Robertson. A long pass to McLaughlin, the shooter. 68-53. And just like that, after the Bullets have come within 7, Milwaukee's back out there by 15. Still 15, and Marin and Alcindor come down together.
Then he ruled that a loose ball foul. Oscar arguing that Lou Alcindor had possession, but it is a loose ball foul. Milwaukee gets it out of bounds.
Coming up to the 9-minute mark of the third quarter, 68-53. Robertson, number 1, kicked away by Marin. Marin talking to his coach, Gene Shue, as the ball goes into Alcindor. Robertson. Oh. 23 points for the Big O, 70-53. Kevin Lockery to Gus Johnson. Unsold. Trying to find an open man. Carter. Very good. 70-55. Carter with 16 points.
You notice how much further out Unseld has to come to make that pick effective and that playmaking effective. He's out about 5 feet more than he normally would be.
Alcindor to Dandridge. Dandridge, one of the young stars in the NBA, making it 72-55. Kevin Lockery. Gus Johnson. Unsold. From way out again, Fred Carter. 72-57. Carter back in defense against Greg Smith. Into Alcindor. McLaughlin traveling. Carter, number 3, has taken 13 shots. He's made 9. So, Jack, it'd be a good idea to get the ball to Carter, wouldn't it?
Well, you can bet that's what they'll be looking for. Any team in this league likes to go to the man with a hot hand, and Carter has the hot hand.
Carter. Another one. 20 points for Fred Carter, 72-59. Greg Smith, Oscar Robertson shouting instructions, moving his team the width of the attacking zone. Alcindor back to Robertson, knocked out by Marin, but last touch by Smith. Lockery bringing it up. A set play now. Clenched fist. Greg Smith, number 4, holding on the play. That's his third.
That's the first time Wes has put the ball on the floor and tried to drive on Alcindor, and had not Greg Smith grabbed him, it would have been interesting to see how Alcindor would have defensed him.
8 points for Unseld, 16 rebounds. 72-61. Now it's Dandridge trying for an interception was Gus Johnson. Dandridge over Alcindor. Good. Unseld quickly to Carter. Carter to Marin. Marin tries. Good. 74-63. 6:28 to go in the third quarter. Robertson around Johnson. Unseld has it. Long. Stolen by McLaughlin. Unseld to Carter. Gus Johnson trying for the rebound. Carter battling for it along with Dandridge. And a foul on Carter.
Actually, Mendy Rudolph ruled that Freddie Carter dove, instead of diving for the ball, he dove at the man, and you're not allowed to do that. And it was a foul on Freddie Carter.
Monroe is just coming out of the dressing room now for Baltimore, headed toward the Baltimore bench. John McLaughlin for Milwaukee gives to Dandridge. Alcindor. Impossible to stop. He's like a quick bulldozer.
You know, it may sound silly the way Alcindor is playing, but Unseld is doing a good job on him in there. It's just that he has so much mobility that he's not being intimidated by the muscling.
Marin was fouled on that 25-foot shot. John Tresvant replaces a very tired Gus Johnson. In pain, exhausted from 18 playoff games, although he missed some, on 2 bad knees, and there he gets a rest.
You know, you talk about the number of games these teams have played. Baltimore has played 112 games, counting exhibition, Chris, and Milwaukee has played 106 before tonight. That's a whole college career.
And, you know, it's just not the playing, but all the traveling and all the sleeping away from home. They get my vote for tremendous athletes. Oscar Robertson finding the range from 25, making it 78-64 in his usual calm, poised manner. Just letting the opposition know that he's tough. 9 of 11 from the field for Oscar. John Tresvant getting the rebound. Unseld, good positioning on it. Kevin Lockery. Carter, he's dying to get another shot. Hottest thing for Baltimore, trying to get around Robertson. Gives to Marin, and Marin, a bad shot. Alcindor to Robertson.
The clock was just running out on that one. That was a tough shot by Marin. He just tried to get it up there.
There you are again. 7 feet 5, no doubt. $18 points, Alcindor. Here's Jack Marin. Marin around an Unseld screen. Robertson, and the Bucks can fast break. Greg Smith, 82-64. Monroe and Johnson will be coming in. Lockery with a field goal, 82-66. Greg Smith picks up his 4th foul, offensive foul, and in comes Monroe, number 10, at 25. Johnson, unsold, number 41, getting a rest.
And you can see below Monroe's pair of pants there that the tape on his left leg. He has a pulled groin muscle in that leg, and apparently that's what he went in the locker room to have it retaped.
Boy, and that has to smart. There's Tresvant now. And the former Los Angeles Laker gets his first field goal of the night with 3:27 to go in the 3rd quarter.
You know the way these players feel, Chris. Monroe, Gus said it before the game. He said, I've got 6 months to rest up. I've got to be in there.
There's another ABC angle, low camera from behind, giving you the idea of how Robertson moved in. Look at that. 27 points for Oscar. Coming up to the 3-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, 84-68. Johnson shot rebounded by Dandridge. Dandridge to the big O, to John McLaughlin, to Smith. Knocked away by Johnson. Foul call. Earl Monroe committed the foul.
Let's watch McLaughlin. He gives off to Greg Smith. Gus, number 25. Oh, Monroe caught it before there. Gus was up in the air, but the foul was on Earl Monroe on the play before.
The PA announcer said Monroe had 3 fouls. He has 4. Foul trouble. 2:47 to go, 3rd quarter. There's Monroe. 86-68. Johnson on the rebound. 86-70. Robertson working on Carter. Monroe. Beautiful assist for Kevin Lockery.
You know, John Murphy missed that foul. John McLaughlin went out and tried to make the foul on that pass, and he missed it, but the Bullets got the basket anyway.
John Tresvant fouling Oscar Robertson.
That is his second personal. Tresvant, 4-15.
Lucius Allen will come in for Robertson.
Let's see if we can see that play. Watch John McLaughlin now, number 14, come after Monroe. Right there, see? And Don Murphy was watching the ball, and Kevin went in for the layup, but McLaughlin intentionally tried to foul him.
Robertson from the foul line, 8 of 9. From the field, 10 of 13, 28 points. Lockery. Way over to Tresvant. 87-74. From Milwaukee, it's Alcindor, Greg Smith, John McLaughlin, Dandridge, and Robertson. Here's Alcindor. Back to Smith. Out of bounds at the baseline, so it'll be the Bullets taking over. Now number 7, Lucius Allen, will come in.
Lucius Allen for Oscar Robertson.
But before he'll get a chance to handle the ball, we have 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter here in Baltimore, Maryland, as the Milwaukee Bucks lead the Baltimore Bullets by a score of 87-74.
Oscar changed the game in basketball because he was the first really big point guard to play the game and control a basketball game. I mean, you used to have, you know, the Bob Cousy's of the world, and that's the way the game was thought to be played, the small guy playing the point. And Oscar changed all that. Oscar could shoot it outside, he could take you in, and he could post you up. Of course, he had, you know, those eyes that still are there, those eyes that kind of bug out of his head. And I mean, his peripheral vision is like way, way back over, you know, like insane, where he can see people. And, you know, he was just a great player, and got in, got on the boards, did everything.
Minute 40 to go in the third quarter. Thus far, the Milwaukee Bucks have earned, as a team, $122,000 in the playoffs and in the season. If they win tonight, they get another $90,000, which will bring the total to $212,000 and about $16,000 for each player.
You know, Chris, that's a total of $700,000 in this year's pool. I think 5 years ago, my last year, it was like $200,000. So that's how this league has gone up in the last 5 years.
That was John Tresvant putting that in. And now the Milwaukee lead cut to 11 as we look at Lucius Allen. Oscar Robertson is on the bench as John McLaughlin is the other backcourt man. Bounce to Dandridge. Traveling. The 13th Milwaukee turnover. So setting the lineups again. Lockery and Monroe in the backcourt. Tresvant and Carter, the forwards. Carter in at the forward. The center is Gus Johnson, number 25. Shooting long range. Tresvant trying for the rebound, but in comes Big Lou.
All Gene's trying to do with that strategy is have Lou guard Gus and get Gus to pull Alcindor out. But it was Alcindor that got the rebound after the missed shot.
That is Lou Alcindor.
20 points now for Alcindor, 89-76. About a half minute remaining in the third quarter. Allen with a steal. Whoops. So another Milwaukee turnover as McCoy McLemore gets ready to come in. And Greg Smith is out. There's McLemore, number 35. And Dick Cunningham in the lineup for the first time, and Alcindor gets a breather. And the partisan Baltimore fans applause for a tremendous athlete. And an intentional foul by McLaughlin on Lockery. McLaughlin's second. And you know, Gene Shue has done a tremendous job with the Baltimore Bullets. In 7 games, winning over Philadelphia, extended after being down 2-0 against the Knicks, dethroning the world champions, and he deserves a tremendous pat on the back. McLemore knocked away. Lockery has it, long to Monroe. Behind. Oh! It nearly was spectacular.
I tell you, that play would have normally been a cake of soap for Gus Johnson. Here it is again. Watch Gus. Earl Monroe behind the back. Gus just can't get the spring on those knees.
Yeah, I think fair to play.
Oscar would pass the ball. He was averaging 30 points a game now and like 10 rebounds, 10 assists, but he made sure everybody else got a lot of touches early on. So for a half, he would shoot and make a few baskets, but wouldn't take the game over. Second half was his half. He'd always take the game over and try to win, and he was just unstoppable. I never thought I would ever see another player as great as Oscar. I thought pound for pound there would never, ever be a player any greater, and here comes Mike, and you know, the rest is history.
91-77. You just joined us at the end of the first quarter. Milwaukee led 31-22 at halftime, 60-47. At the end of 3, 89-77. Carter, Alcindor, saved by Bob Dandridge. McLaughlin, McLemore, McLaughlin, and Allen. Allen, Dandridge. And foul by Tresvant. his third. So the fellow that saved at the baseline, and we thought we had lost him, he went practically into the crowd, Bob Dandridge, drew a foul at the opposite end of the court.
One shot.
Bob gets it again from Allen. Baltimore's ball. Now the Bucks are a minute closer. 11 to go. 91-77. Kevin Lockery, Jack Merritt around an unsold screen. Over to Lockery. 91-79.
You know, you have to say, Chris, that the Bucks are disorganized to some extent out there without Robertson in that backcourt. They rely on him so much that when he's out of there, they're running around. They're not as organized as they normally would be.
You know, Larry Costello agrees with you because he's sending Oscar in. Oscar will have to wait. Gene Shue, meanwhile, has Gus Johnson ready as Lockery drives on Allen. Has it knocked away by McLaughlin. And now number 1 for Milwaukee, Robertson. Number 25 for Baltimore, Gus Johnson. Tresvant is out. McLaughlin leaves the Milwaukee lineup. Carter looking for a shot. Dandridge on the rebound. Robertson to Allen. Tough one. It's Carter to Lockery. Lockery. 93-81. Lockery with 15 points. Robertson guarded by Jack Marin. Alcindor. Oh. 24 points. (95-81). 9.5 to go. So Lockery takes up the scoring slack for the Bullets. 17 points. 95-83. Lucius Allen to Coy McLemore. Unseld trying to defense Alcindor. Dandridge guarded by Gus Johnson. Robertson to Allen. And Marin tries. Gus Johnson to Carter. Carter to Lockery. Back to Johnson. Off balance. Now it's Dandridge for Milwaukee. Back outside to Robertson. McLemore under to Dandridge, guarded by Unseld. Nevertheless, 97-83. 8.5 to go.
And I think now you'll see Milwaukee start to sit on the ball a little bit. They'll start to play a little cozy, chewing up the clock, and protect that lead that they have.
Unseld. 97-85.
You know, Chris, there will be a most valuable player pick of this championship series, and it's not an easy pick. Everything has been talking about Alcindor, but we've seen the influence of Oscar Robertson. So I think the folks at home should start thinking about their most valuable player, and it'll be very interesting to see who winds up the MVP of this series.
Wes Unseld drawing his 4th foul as McLemore leaves the lineup. Greg Smith, number 4, is in for Milwaukee. Alcindor, 25 points, 11 rebounds. Kevin Lockery, very slow, waiting for Unseld to set up a screen on Robertson. Lockery, tapped away by Allen. Robertson controlling it. Look at that lead pass to Dandridge. Robertson, he must have 4 or 5 eyes.
Well, see, he comes across, Chris, as he did on that play, drawing the defense to him, pulling 2 men to his side of the court, opening it up for Bob Dandridge.
100-85. This is Carter. Lucius Allen giving it to Smith. Good. 102-85. In the regular season, Milwaukee averaged 119. Baltimore 118. Unseld. Marin. Alcindor covering the loose ball. Robertson again to Dandridge. Unseld trying to knock it away. And it's the 5th foul on Wes Unseld. Loose ball foul, and getting the brunt of that physical contact, Greg Smith. John Tresman and Gary Zeller, number 11, move into the Baltimore lineup. And leaving, Gus Johnson and Carter. On the clock, 6:49 to go. Milwaukee 102, the Bullets 85. Alcindor. We have a jump ball, the first of the game, other than the start of it and the beginning of the quarters. It's going to be Marin and Alcindor. Zeller and Robertson diving for it. Lockery has it. Driving up, Marin. Jack Marin, 102 to 87. Now 6.5 minutes left in the 4th game in the best of 7. Zeller. Allen charging.
Once again, Larry Costello going with Lucius Allen and Oscar Robertson in the backcourt at the same time. There's 2 best ball handlers, and Baltimore now has to come out and apply the pressure, and Costello has 2 good ball handlers, and Allen and Robertson back there.
This is Wes Unseld feeding Zeller. Hey! 102 to 89. There's Greg Smith. 6 minutes to go in the game. Dandridge back out to Smith, to Robertson. Allen.
You notice how they spread out on offense so that Baltimore cannot double team the man with the ball. They spread out to the furthest corner.
It's a timeout with the Bucks leading the Bullets 104 to 89 at the Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland.
When I got in the league in 73 and 74 and as assistant in Milwaukee, I used to ask every single great player, who was the greatest player ever to play? It was unanimous. They'd all say Oscar Robertson. Now you say, why? Forget the 1 year that he averaged a triple-double. It was over 30 points a game, over 10 rebounds, over 10 assists. Now, look at the first 5 years in the league. Over 30 points, over 10, usually in assists, and for the 6'5" phenom, 9.9, 9.8, 9.7 rebounds. He could have had, if you round off the number, 5 straight years of triple-double.
We'll get back to the Bucks and the Bullets in a moment. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was then Lou Alcindor, remembered the day that Oscar Robertson was traded to the Bucks. Kareem was ecstatic. Even before the Big O walked onto the court for their first practice together, Kareem and his teammates had the feeling that 1971 would be their year. Kareem had watched Robertson on TV when he was in high school, but it wasn't until he started playing against him in the NBA that he understood how Robertson controlled the game. And when Kareem finally played with him, he started to see what Oscar's game was all about. In the eyes of the young Abdul-Jabbar, Robertson did what the most effective basketball players do. Quote, he kept the game very simple, which was his first secret. If you were going to stop him, you were just going to stop the basics, and you'd have to do it perfectly because he could take advantage of any miscue you might make, unquote. As we return to the Big O in Game 4 of the 1971 NBA Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks are 2 minutes and 54 seconds away from sweeping the Baltimore Bullets.
Comparative statistics, and this is the 4th of the best of 7 series. These are the comparative statistics for this game that has 2 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. 110 to 95. Milwaukee going into the preliminary playoff series, 4-1 over San Francisco, 4-1 over Los Angeles, 3-0 over the Bullets coming in here as we look at the Big O. And if they win this one tonight, the World Championship for Lou Alcindor, number 33, and the Bucks.
3 to make 2.
3 years in the NBA. 2 years for Lou Alcindor.
You think that has anything to do with it, Chris?
I would think so. Tresvant going up for the rebound, and he is charged with the foul. And Lou Alcindor goes to the bench, hands up in the air. His teammates are up, shaking his hand. The Big O comes over, as does Lucius Allen. And one of the few times you see Lou smile, but he had a big one right there. Lou Alcindor, 112-95, 2:42 to go.
I'll tell you, Oscar is so excited out there, he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's been waiting for this for about 11 years, and he went over and grabbed Alcindor. He's got a smile from ear to ear out there.
Of course, he had great success as a high school player at Crispus Attucks in Indianapolis. What a player he was then. And, of course, you saw him at Cincinnati University, and then you got a chance to play with him. Alcindor, incidentally, 27 points and 12 rebounds. And Oscar, an intentional foul on Kevin Lockery. Bob Grecian, number 18, gets into the lineup for the first time tonight. And let's see, who did he replace? Oh, Bob Dandridge. And boy, will these Milwaukee Bucks celebrate in Baltimore tonight to head home to Milwaukee tomorrow morning, and that'll happen then, too, I'm sure. I'm sure enjoying a great performance of Alcindor, someone like Bill Russell, who was involved in 11 championships in 13 years, Jack, and I know he can feel for a big center, a fine defensive and offensive player. Tonight, Wes Unseld had 23 rebounds and 11 points. 2.5 minutes to go. That's Gary Zeller and Lucius Allen. Robertson to Dick Cunningham. Bob Grecian losing the ball to Zeller, who tries to get it off. And the foul is called. Dory Murray coming into the lineup for Baltimore, and Larry Costello on the left. 12 years as a player with Syracuse and Philadelphia. He's done a molding job because he has super individuals, and it takes a fine coach to bring them together as a cohesive unit.
Well, I tell you, nobody works harder than Larry Costello. He watches those films all day long. He's constantly making notes, and he really works at it. There's a great hand for a great ball player. Everybody on Milwaukee congratulating him, and the people in Baltimore are showing him what they think of him.
Wes Unseld, disappointed. Coming up to the 2-minute mark, Gary Zeller on Lucius Allen. Dory Murray getting the rebound for Baltimore. All the Baltimore fans standing now. It's 113 to 90, or rather to a 100. Bob Grecian over Murray. Murray knocks it out of bounds. Jack Twyman now making his way to the Milwaukee Bucks dressing room. And with only 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining here at Civic Center, the score, the Milwaukee Bucks 113, the Baltimore Bullets 100. The Big O. Milwaukee leading 113 to 100 with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining. And I wouldn't be surprised after the victory that Jack Twyman will do some interviews in the locker room. I wouldn't be surprised if his friend, the Big O, might douse him. We'll wait and see. Too much time out of bounds with the ball. The 21st Milwaukee turnover. Carter 113 to 102, and for Carter, it's 26 points tonight. So on its 11-point lead with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the game. Oscar Robertson still directing his teammates, bouncing to Lucius Allen. Allen fading away now. Cross court to Troy McLemore. Over to Dick Cunningham as reserves, getting an opportunity to play, and Oscar tries one from 35 to McLemore, who changed his mind about shooting, gives it back out to his leader, Robertson, into Bob Boozer, guarded by Dory Murray, number 40 of Baltimore. Bob Boozer. Okay, 115 to 102. 60 seconds away from a Milwaukee championship as Carter adds 2. 28 points for Carter. Double teaming now by Tresvant and Carter on McLemore. Tresvant gets the foul. He has 5 fouls. On the Baltimore bench, Gus Johnson, along with Jack Marin, Wes Unseld, and Earl Monroe. In 3 of the 4, they went far and above beyond the call of duty, really, with the injuries that they had sustained earlier. They are something. Dick Cunningham. This is Oscar Robertson. I've just received word that Sport Magazine has awarded the NBA Playoff Award Most Valuable Player to Lou Alcindor. It's a shame they didn't have 2 to give number 1 one. Bob Boozer. George Johnson. Long to Gary Zeller. 25 seconds left in the game. And off the ball is McLemore to Oscar Robertson. Looking around, and he wants a timeout with 18 seconds left on the clock. Only 18 seconds remaining in this final game of a hectic NBA season at Civic Center, with Milwaukee leading Baltimore 116 to 104. Well, he gets to enjoy the final 18 seconds on the bench. We have the reserves out for the Milwaukee Bucks. Lots of them. McLemore. He gets 2. So for Baltimore, it's Tresvant, George Johnson, Gary Zeller, Fred Carter, and Dory Murray. 5 seconds to go. Zeller on the rebound. 118 to 106, and the Milwaukee Bucks are the champions. 118 to 106. And let's go into the Milwaukee dressing room, and here is Jack Twyman.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. I'm in the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm so excited myself. These guys are going crazy in here. Wes Pavillon, the chairman of the board of the Milwaukee Bucks. Ray Patterson, the president. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks, Jack.
And Walter Kennedy, the commissioner of the NBA. Walter, it was a great championship.
Well, of course, Milwaukee has had a tremendous team all season. I think it's only fitting under the circumstances that they should finish one of the greatest seasons any NBA team has ever had in winning the NBA championship.
There's the big Oscar, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Jack.
Big win for you. What do you feel? Is this better than the days that you see?
Oh, this is great. Great, Jack. Finally got it.
This is 11 years in coming, right?
A long time, Jack.
How do you feel?
Oh, I feel wonderful. Great victory. Had a great team game.
What about this team, Oscar? Is this a great ball club?
I think we're coming, Jack. First year I'm with the club. I think we're going to lose. Has to get much better. Great guy. Big fella.
Hey, Luke.
Big fella.
Luke, congratulations. Oscar just paid you a great compliment. You had a great series. Congratulations. He was a big help. He was a big help.
Listen, Oscar played a hell of a game today.
How about yourself? You played a great game. Congratulations on the MVP.
Thank you very much.
How about the way Oscar put this ball club together? Don't you think that the addition of Robertson at the last year put a great ball club together?
Well, in this last game, we weren't all together today. We were missing some of our offensive players. He just came right in, made the big play, got the rebound, put the ball in the hoop, gave 3-point plays. He did everything.
Lou, you had a great series. Oscar, this ball club has just about everything, doesn't it?
Well, we hope to get there, Jack. We're still improving. We're a young club as far as except for myself and Boozer. But, you know, we hope to be much better next season.
Oscar, you had a great series. I know you want to go over to your bench. Congratulations.
Oscar Robertson, the Big O, reached the championship finals one more time at the end of the 1973-74 season. The Bucks had an excellent team that year, the best record in the league. They went to the finals against the Boston Celtics, but in what turned out to be a classic championship series, the Bucks lost in 7 games. And soon afterward, Oscar Robertson retired. Classic Sports Network returns in a moment.
This week on Shap One-on-One.
What were some of the favorite moments, some of the favorite athletes?
Team USA, the hockey team, at the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid in 1980.
Neither the thrill of victory nor the agony of defeat was complete without Jim McKay.
This was real life. This wasn't TV.
Jim McKay, legendary voice of ABC's Wide World of Sports on Shap One-on-One. Thursday at 7:30, only on ESPN Classic.
This is great. Talking to a friend, that's all.
He and I came in together, and he is the one who, 15, 17 feet, was an incredible shooter with people hanging all over him. I mean, his concentration, his strength, his skill level was so advanced at an early age that it would be fun to watch him play in this league today.
What do you want to ask Jackie?
Well, Jackie, I'd like to know if there's a man on first and second, and there's a fly ball hits the outfield, there's a big wind, and it blows the ball towards the infield. The first baseman's under it, but the outfielder yells him to keep off. The outfielder dives the ball, but doesn't get it. The ball goes into the outfield. All 3 men score. I would like to know, are there any outs? And if there are, how many men score?
Wow. Wow. If any, then you got a question here now.
You're watching ESPN Classic.
A shot on Elo. Good! Bulls win it!
Hey, Clyde, it's the 74 NBA Finals. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bucks, Celtics at their best.
Yep, they were battling. Jabbar, though, was very dominant, and he was on the threshold of greatness at this point.
I'm Al Troutwig along with Walt Clyde Frazier. He's in the Hall of Fame, of course, and so is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And this is one of the great games in NBA history, and it takes you to a Celtics era when they were great every year and they were challenging for the title. Beat you guys, as I remember, en route to this finals performance,
yes,
didn't they?
Did,
yes,
yeah.
They beat the Knicks.
I couldn't carry the whole team, Al.
Everybody was hurt, right? Dave DeBusschere was hurt. Willis Reed was hurt.
Willis had been ailing, right. So another dynasty was crumbling.
Meanwhile, the Bucks in the era of Lou Alcindor becoming Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1972 had one championship, but were right there each and every year. And I guess it's just a matter when you're that good of everything falling into place, like between you and the Lakers and the Celtics and the Bucks. You needed to have everybody healthy, needed maybe a little luck to go your way, and that's what determined things in that area of the NBA, right?
Yeah, the Bucks were always a player away. They had Oscar, they had Jabbar, but they couldn't always have the other pieces. McLaughlin was their lethal perimeter shooter, so they had trouble finding that other piece to the puzzle.
Now, this is definitely a very special game to watch. We're going to see so many different players in various stages of their career, but one of the key players for those who never got a chance to see him at his best. We talked about Kareem, but Kareem is battling a guy who overachieved and overstepped the physical bounds so much, and it's Dave Cowens.
6'9", 235 pounds of fury, relentless. He had no fear on the court.
What was he like, Clyde, when he put an arm on you or an elbow? I mean,
he was always physical, but I used to foul him out because of that aggression. You know, I had the pump fake where I jump into him.
But he could stay with you, couldn't he?
I mean, yeah, he'd hound you down. But he still was vulnerable because he's going to always try to block his shot.
The way this series went, it was Boston, Milwaukee, Boston, Milwaukee, Boston. It's Milwaukee's turn, if you catch the idea of consistency here. But, you know, this was Boston Garden. Now, one other quirk about this game, the only people who know what the first 46 minutes were like are the ones who were in Boston Garden that day. That's right. For some reason, the tape of this game was erased up until the point that we have it. So what we're about to show you is the only part of this game that we know exists. It's from just over 2 minutes left and beyond into overtime, with the Bucks leading 84-80 in the fourth quarter. That's where we're going to join it. This again is the NBA Finals Game 6 from 1974.
Just over 2 minutes left now. 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 1 second, 2 minutes left. Inside it goes, and it's taken away by Boston. Oscar took it right back. Foul is against Robinson. A backcourt foul against Oscar.
That'll be 3 opportunities to make 2 shots for Don Chaney. Oscar Robertson almost came up with a super big play that time. If he had gotten the ball, Kareem would have had an easy dunk shot, and that could have iced it for Milwaukee. Now gives a chance for the Celtics to cut it to 2 with plenty of time to go. This game is far from over.
A minute, 54 seconds left in this game. 84-80. Don Chaney has 2 more. Penalty situation now as Chaney feels possibly the pressure, hits the second one. That cuts it to 3. 84-81. 9 for the Ducks. Got it. Chaney, a backcourt foul on Chaney.
Boy, that's a tough foul right there. It's just like giving it one way and giving it back the other. 5 fouls on Chaney also.
A minute, 53 seconds left. Oscar will have 3 tries to make 2. 84-82. First one is good. I don't think he knows what pressure is. Got them both quickly. 86-82, 12 for the Big O. Chaney brings it across. Gives to Havlicek. A minute 45 left. White. Oscar reaches behind, did not foul. Knocked it out of bounds.
JoJo made the good move. Oscar committed himself, recovered quickly, and knocked the ball out of bounds. Back to the Celtics again.
13 seconds left on the 24-second clock.
Bucks don't mind that because they, of course, are trying to use up time.
Havlicek gets the shot, fires, and hits. Cuts it back to 2. Dandridge against Havlicek. He gets it across. The can of defense back outside to Davis. 5 seconds on the 24-second clock as Dandridge goes up. Can't get it. Silas with the rebound. 86-84, Chaney. A minute 5 left. White to Cowan. Good! High score. 1 minute left. The Bucks have taken a timeout.
You're watching the Bucks battle the Celtics on Classic Sports Network.
It just tastes better.
Seems I'm late for our little reception. No worries. I'm driving this new Subaru Outback. Shortcut. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, like my other Outback, so I can take it almost anywhere, like my other Outbacks. In fact, there's only one difference, really. Matilda. It's got this stylish rear end to go with her. Nice trunk. The all-new Outback Sport Utility Sedan from Subaru.
goat. Yo, I'm the goat.
Philips introduces the CD recorder, the revolutionary way to make a CD as unique as you are.
It's insane. Drip, 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 water on my brain.
Tonight on ESPN Classic. At 9, Denny McClain's Tigers try to pounce on the power pitching of Bob Gibson and the Cardinals in Game 1 of the 1968 World Series on the Diamond Collection. And at 11, see athletes caught in the midst of action on Visions of Victory, a century of sports photography, part of the documentary series In Focus, tonight on ESPN Classic.
Welcome back to Game 6 of the 1974 NBA Finals between the Bucks and the Celtics. Al Troutwig and Clyde Frazier will be back later, but right now we are joined by Paul Silas, the former Celtics forward who played in this memorable contest. We're at the early part of Kareem's career here, and at the late part of Oscar Robertson's career. You saw both of them at their prime. What was Oscar like?
Oscar, I considered the best pound-for-pound player that ever played the game, until Michael Jordan came along, of course. But Oscar could do everything. He could shoot, he could pass, he could dribble, great free throw shooter, a defender, great rebounder, average triple doubles for like 2 or 3 years running. Just a consummate pro. But I think more than anything, he really had a vast knowledge of the game, understood how to play, how to set up his teammates the first half, then he would take over the second half and win the ball game. Kareem, of course, was just so dominant. He was the sky hook he developed even at that time was a dominant shot, was a little raw at that time and really enthusiastic, but just had a tremendous love for the game and knew how to win. And again, he understood how to play basketball.
Well, both of them came out of great basketball backgrounds. I mean, Oscar from Indiana, from Indianapolis, and Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming out of New York City. What was your role on the Celtics at this point?
Well, my role remained the same. When I first came to the Celtics, I thought that I was going to have a role as starter, and you know, I had come off a great year at Phoenix, averaging like 18 points a game, which was a lot of points for me. But Hansen changed my role to the sixth man. Don Nelson started the game. I would come in at like the 4-minute mark in the first quarter every game and get us going, rebounding, defending, doing the grunt work, and that remained my job throughout my career. But I would help Cowens on Kareem because no one could stop the guy, but we developed a little system where I would slough off my man and help him, and it worked in the final game. In the sixth game, it didn't work at all.
Basketball has become a very physical game. How physical was it when you were doing the grunt work?
Well, you know, I watched, you know, some of my old tapes and whatnot, and I think we had more of a physical presence, but it wasn't the grabbing and pushing and shoving the way it is now. We had more of the fundamentals. Like I would always go to the baseline, try to get inside position, box my man out, and it was almost a gentleman's game. It was tough and rough, but it wasn't the hard-nosed grabbing and pushing and fighting, and you know, the way it is now. So I would say it's totally different. As a rebounder, how do you look at Dennis Rodman as a rebounder? Well, I think he's tremendous. Dennis really has a nose for the ball. I think he goes to the baseline the way you to lock his man in, the way we try to teach guys to rebound offensively. He perhaps had more talent than I had, but we both really had a nose for the ball, as we say. When it goes up, you always are going after the ball, and you know, he's a tremendous rebounder. I would like to think that you know, he is the Paul Silas of today.
Except he dresses differently.
Oh yeah, it does.
Slightly, I know you're a little conservative today.
Slightly.
This game, Game 6 of the 1974 Finals, we just have the last 2 minutes of the regulation part of the game. What was the early part of that game like?
Well, it was a tough game. You know, Oscar was a little older, and as he was coming along, the first couple of games, he really wasn't in tremendous shape at that point. I think he had just come off an injury. But the more the series went, the better he got. And by the sixth game, he was rolling. They had Bobby Dandridge at that time, who was playing excellent basketball, and it was a nip and tuck game throughout, and it came down, of course, to the double overtime, you know, for us to win or lose.
Well, we're going to return now to Game 6 of the 1974 NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, who were then in the Midwest Division. It's tied 86 apiece, 1 minute left in regulation. Boston's ahead in the series, 3-2.
Boston leads this series 3-2. Oscar Robertson will inbound at center court. Mendy Rudolph and Darrell Garrison are your officials. I can't hear a thing at Boston Garden. I don't know about you. Davis gets the ball. 12 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Kareem sets the pick and takes Chaney inside. They're trying to get it back to him. Oscar has Cowens on him. 3 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Cowens on the floor. Is tied up. A jump ball. What a play by Dave Cowens.
Pat, here's a Dave Cowens knocks the ball away as he jumps out in the screen. Watch him dive for the ball right here. Look at this hustle.
He's called a timeout.
There's a situation, Pat. He dove and got the ball, jump ball, but if he had not knocked the ball away and got the jump ball, the 24-second clock was about to expire, which would have given the ball to the Boston Celtics. As it is now, both teams have an equal chance of getting the ball back.
And that's the contention at the table now by Tom Heinsohn and his assistant coach, John Killelay. They're saying Boston should have the ball. 39 seconds left on the game clock. Mendy Rudolph in conference now with the Boston captain, John Havlicek.
This is exactly what the argument is about.
That's right.
This is what the argument is about. While the ball was rolling loose, the 24-second clock expired. Nobody had possession. It should be the Boston Celtic ball under those circumstances.
Mendy Rudolph is over with Larry Costello, and I think that's what he drew. I think that's what he's saying. Hubie Brown is alongside. We'll just have to wait and see, but I saw the reaction from Curtis Perry.
I looked at the clock as Oscar was dribbling, and as Cowens knocked the ball away, there was 3 seconds to go on the clock, on the 24-second clock.
There it is again now.
Let's watch the play.
Oscar is hot. Let's look again.
There we go. There he's dribbling. Now Cowens will reach in, knock the ball away. Now there was 3 seconds to go. 2, 1. Of course, you're in slow motion. Still nobody on the ball. Still the clock's running. Now a jump ball in the back. You can see the clock right here.
Boston ball.
The clock is off. The clock has expired.
It is Boston ball. Boston will inbound from center court as the entire crowd is standing around the edge of the court.
Once again, though, Pat, give Dave Cowens a great deal of credit. He made a super play on Oscar Robertson.
Did he ever? Now, Darrell Garrison is backing Curtis Perry away, saying you've got to get him room. The bounce pass comes to Havlicek. Saved by Chaney, and back to White. His jump shot is no good. Chaney got the rebound. Back to Havlicek. They reset the clock. They reset the 24-second clock.
And they were late doing it, Pat. They were late by 2 seconds doing it. When I looked over, the clock had started late.
Again, a discussion over at the scorer's table.
One clock read one thing, Pat. The other clock read the other. They're moving it down to 15. 15 seconds.
15 seconds on the 24-second clock. And this is when it's great to have that alternate official at court side. The game clock on the left side of your screen, the 24-second clock on the other side, and now they've both started. Joe White throws to Cowens. He almost lost it. His hook shot is no good. The rebound to Davis. With 8 seconds left, the Bucks call a timeout. 8 seconds left in the game. Tie game at 86. Chaney steals it. He stepped on the line.
Boy, Don Chaney almost made a super big play there. But he went out of bounds, came back in when he got the ball. Mendy Rudolph right on top of it.
Bucks used up 2 seconds. Abdul-Jabbar way outside. Robertson saves it. John McLaughlin, no good. Overtime.
Joining us once more in Victory Yard is Paul Silas, the Celtics forward, who is reliving this great and memorable game with us. Dave Cowens sliding across the floor, going after a loose ball. Typical Dave Cowens?
Typical. Dave was the type of player that always played all out. And he would not allow anyone around him not to give any less than he was giving. But Dave would do whatever it took to win a ball game. If it needed a rebound, he would get the rebound. Needed to score, he would score. But that particular play was just awesome. It's relived time and time again of just wanting the basketball. He knew how precious it was, how we had to have it, and there he goes diving across the floor, trying to retrieve the ball, and he did so. And that's the reason Dave is what he is. Even coaching today, he's doing a great job.
You became very close friends with how did the relationship develop?
When I first came to the Celtics, Dave was already there, and Red got me because he knew that Dave needed some help board-wise. And as we developed our friendship, Dave and I had a little signal that he would pat me on the rump when we were shooting layups, and that meant he and I had to get the job done that night. Well, sometimes he would play a little game with me. He wouldn't do this until like the last second before the game was to start. I'm waiting. When is this going to happen? And finally, he'd pat me on the rump, and we knew that we had to get it done that night. But Dave and I just epitomized, I think, two guys of working very, very hard, doing the grunt work, because we knew that our team needed this in order to win.
It's terrible. Until he patted you on the rear, you didn't feel loved.
I did not. That is so true. I waited for it, and finally I got it, and we knew we were ready to go that night.
It's good to know that a team is that close. Tommy Heinsohn was your coach. What was Tommy like as a coach?
Tommy was a great coach. I don't think he necessarily got the credit that he deserved because of course, the great Red Auerbach, but Tommy knew each player, knew which button to push to get that particular player to respond. Myself, as a case in point, I was not naturally known as a great shooter, and sometimes I would want to shoot the basketball, and Tommy was almost in his chair waiting to get up when I was going to cock one up. So Tommy would tell me, well, Paul, wait a minute, you can't shoot the ball right now. You got to set a pick. What do you do best? You set picks best. JoJo shoots, so set the pick for him, and you get to the boards. Well, I would get tired of this sometimes, and I would tell Tommy, well, if you don't want me to shoot, just take me out. And Tommy would say, okay. Wouldn't say anything during the game. The next day, he'd call me, we would have breakfast, and we would cool everything out, and I'm sorry, Tommy, I know I screwed up. But he just knew which button to push on each guy and to get us to perform. And I think that's, probably 3/4 or 90% of the battle is knowing your players and getting them to play hard and respond every night.
So many people who played on that team and who played for the Celtics during that era became coaches, head coaches, assistant. Did Auerbach prepare everyone to be a coach?
I think so, because before I got to the Celtics, the emphasis wasn't so much on really thinking the game, understanding the plays, understanding your role within the specific system. And after playing with the Celtics, you understood what it really took to win, how to motivate, how to do all these things, and it worked very well. And I think it all came from Red, because Red had the same system throughout. Tommy had the same system and did a few things to change, but basically Red started it all.
In 1974, with the history of the Celtics behind you, how badly did you want that first NBA title for yourself?
Well, in 1973, when the Knicks won, of course, that was supposed to be our year. We won 68 ball games that year, lost 14, and coming into the finals with the Knicks to go to play the Lakers, we thought we were the better team. And lo and behold, John Havlicek gets hurt, gets his arm hurt, cannot raise his arm above his head, and we go on and lose that series. And that was probably the most devastating time in my career, because I felt that we deserved it, that we should have won it and didn't, and it was just a hurt all summer long. So we couldn't wait to get back to playing the next year. And of course, we came back, played, won it, and that relieved everything.
And Havlicek was healthy, and I guess he was hungry too.
Yes, he was. He was healthy, and a lot of the guys that had not won championships, JoJo Cowens, Don Chaney was on that team still, Don Nelson, who had won championships, they would always explain to us how it was, how it felt to win a championship, and we wanted it oh so badly, and it finally happened.
Yeah, this is what a ring looks like, and this is how you go and get it. This game is just getting started. When Classic Sports returns, it's overtime of Game 6 of the 1974 NBA Finals between the Bucks and the Celtics. Al Trautwig and Walt Frazier will be back with more.
Cornell Warner is out of the game. Cheney has 5 fouls. Callens has 4. Abdul-Jabbar has 4, and Bobby Dandridge has 4. And Dandridge has the ball. 86 all as we move into overtime at the Boston Garden. Kareem gives to Dandridge. His shot is no good, but the Bucks control as Callens couldn't control it. He's going for the jump shot. 3-second violation against Kareem. They used up 19 seconds. Here's Don Cheney with the ball. 86 up the score. Havlicek played by Curtis Perry. Bounce pass to Silas. Knocked away by Perry. Saved by Havlicek. He throws back. He travels. Havlicek travels.
We saw Mindy Rudolph. He was right down on the sideline working hard. Had the great position to make the call.
Now it's Boston's 10th turnover. Milwaukee has turned it over 21 times. Curtis Perry trying to get it across. They're looking for help. He just barely got it across.
That is not what the Bucks want. They do not want Curtis Perry bringing the ball up the floor.
They used up the full 10 seconds, plus 2 more. They have 12 left on the 24-second clock. Make it 10 now. Dandridge with the ball. Cheney following them all around. He tries to get it inside. Bounce pass to Perry. He's short. Off JoJo White.
JoJo White and Paul Silas had inside position. No one there. They fought themselves and lost it out of bounds.
3:58 left in the overtime period. Nobody scored yet. Robertson inside to Kareem. Back to Oscar. Off the foot of JoJo White. Milwaukee ball again. They have 18 seconds left on the 24-second clock, and we have 3:52 left in the overtime.
Bucks are not getting a lot of movement right now.
They seem sluggish. Oscar looking. Cross-court pass high to Perry. He recovers and shoots. Silence finally controls for Boston. And the roar goes up as the Celtics bring it into the front court. 18 seconds on the 24-second clock. Havlicek wheels against Dandridge. His shot is no good. Cheney out of the corner. Hit!
That was Paul Silas who knocked that ball loose and kept it alive.
First time Boston has led since they led early in the first period. Kareem wheels. Callens stops him.
That's 5 fouls on Dave Callens.
First team foul. Remember, in the overtime period, they have 3. Callens goes right back to work. Boston by 2, 88-86. Oscar. No good. Callens high for the rebound. Boston off and running with JoJo White moving. To Havlicek. He lost it to Davis. It's Milwaukee ball.
Foul has been called on John Havlicek. Loose ball foul.
That is the first foul on Havlicek.
I got to figure John's been fouling somebody else sometimes.
I figure that's right. Perry gets it up against White and jumps. Callens knocks it up in the air. White controls. 2-man offense. Here's White. Cheney in the corner. He's picked up by Dandridge. Back to White. 2:41 left. 2:40. 10 seconds on the 24-second clock. Inside Silas. He wheels against Perry. And no! It won't go. In and out. Silas thought he had it. So did I.
So did the crowd.
88-86. 2:23 left in the game. Inside from Oscar to Kareem. Back outside to Oscar. He backs against Cheney. He's got his spot. He's got his shot. And he hits. 88 apiece. 2:05 left in the overtime period.
There would have been 4 points scored in this overtime period. You'd say they're playing a little cautious.
Silas comes to help White. 7 seconds left on the 24-second clock. A long jumper by White. Cheney had it. let's see. Milwaukee ball.
Off of Cheney, and that was a very, very difficult shot by JoJo White. Tough shot to be taking under these circumstances.
Milwaukee's going to use one of their timeouts.
You're watching the Bucks battle the Celtics on Classic Sports Network.
And as Rick Barry said a minute ago, only 4 points have been scored in this entire overtime period. We've only got a minute and 46 seconds left in this extra period. Boston has 2 team fouls. The Bucks have committed none.
Little pressure on the part of the Celtics with 2 important men in foul trouble, Cheney and Cowens.
Here's Perry being bothered by Silas. Dandridge now played by Havlicek. Oscar gets it inside. That's where they want it. Skyhook goes. Tapped up by Silas, saved by Perry, and put in by Curtis Perry.
Jay, a great shot by Curtis Perry. The Bucks had the ball back on the offensive boards thanks to a Celtic. A Celtic tipped the ball and kept it free.
Here's Paul Silas, who kept it back up. He's done a great job now. 1:17 left in the overtime. Cowens has the open shot. No good. Perry got the rebound. Curtis Perry working hard. So is Oscar, and Perry's going to get it across court in the pass from Robertson. 1 minute left in the overtime period. 1 minute. Dandridge started to go and held up. 9 seconds, 8 seconds on the 24-second clock. 52 seconds left in the game. Kareem fires. Rebound to Cheney. Almost taken away by Oscar. Silas goes. It's back to Cheney. 40 seconds left in the game. What's the problem now?
Once again, Don Murphy pointing out the 24-second clock was erroneous.
All right.
It showed 20 seconds before. Now it's been moved back to 17.
Problems with the 24-second clock. It shows 17 at both ends of the court now. 40 seconds in the overtime. Let's see.
It was 20 seconds when the whistle was blown. It was 20 seconds. Don Murphy right on top of the time situation.
Well, here we go. Down to 12 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Boston's Havlicek. Cowens tries it. Jump ball. Jump ball.
That's some call right there. I want to see that one again myself, Pat. There's the shot. Now let's watch Dave Cowens. Kareem's got inside position. He gives him a little shove. He goes up, hand on the ball. He's all over Kareem's back when he came down. Now whether or not they ruled the jump ball before he hit him, that would have to be the situation, because after he came down, he landed right on Kareem's shoulders and arms.
No question, though, before that he did have both hands on the ball.
Right.
Milwaukee controls. And there's 23 seconds now left. Robertson being pressed by Havlicek. The double team. They throw it up. Cross-court pass to Dandridge. Taken away by Cheney. Goes to Havlicek. 10 seconds. 8 seconds. Havlicek's jump shot. No good. His own rebound is good.
Unbelievable.
5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. That's it. Another overtime.
Lots of green to be had that day in Boston on the jerseys of the Boston Celtics and the Bucks. Some money in the bank, perhaps. After all, this was the NBA Finals. As we continue to enjoy this one from 1974. Just another wild overtime game here. We've got all the classics. And as you look to this one and you focus on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Cloud, I'd love to hear what your thoughts were. I mean, you played against him at this time when the legend was being built. What did you think? How intimidating a factor was he?
Well, you're so intimidating. You know, he's a native New Yorker, and I can recall battles when he and Reed were at the Garden, and I used to stand back and watch these guys, and I say, boy, I wish I was 7'4".
Right. Now, when he hooked up with the Bucks, he said in no uncertain terms he's not sharing a room with anybody. It was clear he was a loner, didn't want to be in a situation where he was sharing anything, and so all the players revolted to the point where they all got their own rooms. And so I wonder how it affected his approachability from guys like yourself who would go up to him. Did that prevent you from approaching him to talk to him as a person or not?
No, he just had eccentric ways. You have to remember that most 7-foot guys are that way because they're always hounded by people because of their height. So he cherished his privacy. Ironically, they were the first team to have their own rooms. The Knicks were the last team because of the camaraderie on our team. Even though we had an opportunity to room alone, most of the guys chose to stay with their teammates.
Oh, not surprising. Now let's get back to the game. We talk about the personalities of the game. In this particular one, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, brought to the team for all his leadership and experience, makes a mistake near the end of the first overtime by not calling the timeout, proving that even the best players are human after all.
And also the pressure of the moment, a hostile arena like the Boston Garden, so they unraveled for 5 seconds.
How about Rick Barry getting involved critically of the Big O and not calling the timeout? This is a guy still playing. I mean, the next year the Big O would be able to deal with Rick on the court, if you know what we mean.
Not an aberration for Nick.
And Rick Barry would have a little bit more to say as their coverage that day moved into the second overtime. Again, this is the Celtics and the Bucks, the 1974 NBA Finals, and we'll have it for you here on Classic Sports in a moment.
Turnovers have right now been so costly to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Chaney gets inside to Callan. He can't find anybody but JoJo White. Callan gives to Chaney over Davis. Rebound knocked around and control. A long pass up court. Davis saves it. Dangerous pass. The Bucks lead by 2 in double overtime as we are under the 4-minute mark now. Knocked away by Chaney and almost stolen by Chaney. Those long arms come from nowhere. And again, a question at the scorer's table. Problems with the 24-second clock again.
The clock, Darryl Geraldson came over and told me, I believe it's sticking at 20 seconds and it's not ticking off, and that's where the problem is arising. The clock's not functioning properly.
Well, it's down to 14 now, down less than that. Dandridge does get it inside. Havlicek lays off. Now Dandridge working for position against Havlicek. Callan gets back with Kareem. Havlicek. Shot is tapped up, almost in by Perry. Kareem knocks it out of bounds as he hustles back on defense. The Bucks by 2.
That time Curtis Perry had a great opportunity, but couldn't find the handle on the ball.
Chaney controls. Boston is slow. White started to go with the shot, didn't. Dandridge got involved. That basket counts.
John Havlicek coming from the weak side, got freed by the pick, beat Bob Dandridge across, got the ball and drew the foul.
Dandridge is still talking to Mindy, and he's got to be careful. Havlicek with a chance to convert here on a three-point play. That is 5 fouls on Dandridge. It's 92 all.
I wish we had a different angle to look at that one because it didn't look like he touched him.
Boston leads again, 93-92. Davis with the ball. Against White. He's going to get it across. Boston by 1, 93-92. And Davis would like to get it inside, or somebody would. They do. Callan stands and watches Kareem put another one in. He is 32 points. He's been spectacular. And Milwaukee goes in front.
There's got to be some tired bodies out there on that floor tonight.
Havlicek hits again. 32 for Havlicek. 32 points for Havlicek.
He's playing another super game, another big clutch shot.
The Bucks working into Oscar Robertson, and he's got JoJo White, and he hits. Oscar is superb. 16 for the Big O. 2:25 left in double overtime.
You just can't ask for a better basketball game than this.
Silas, who hasn't played well. Here goes Havlicek, blocked by Kareem. He stepped on the line.
Kareem made a great play that time. When he came down, his foot was on the line. Celtics get another opportunity.
Nothing more you can ask of that man. Havlicek will throw it in bounds. To White. His jump shot is good. Boston by 1. 2:05 left in double overtime. Davis is headed for a trap, but the Bucks get it up. The lead has changed hands 11 times. Perry looking for somebody. He almost walked. 7 seconds, 6 now, 5 on the 24-second clock. Back to Oscar. He's got to put it up. He does. And he got it.
Oh, what a shot by Oscar Robertson. He had nothing to do but throw it up.
Dandridge almost stole it from Havlicek, but he gets another basket. 99-98, Boston. A minute and a half left. And double overtime. Inside it goes Kareem. Cowens behind him.
That's good for Dave Cowens. Dave Cowens is out of the game.
Cowens is out. Cowens is out. Henry Finkel comes in. Standing ovation for Cowens.
There's the play again. Oscar cuts off. Watch him lean in here. Little contact right there. There he is with the arm.
Now the job of containing Kareem falls in the hands of Hank Finkel, who's done well. 1:26 left in the double overtime. Mindy Rudolph is back from his visit with the Buck bench. Pressure-packed situation. Mickey Davis gets it inbounds to Dandridge. And Bobby gets back to Davis. 17 seconds left on the 24-second clock. Saved by Oscar Robertson, but the Bucks throw it away.
No, the ball was
tipped by Boston.
Yes,
by Boston. Touched by Boston. JoJo White is just smiling and saying, "You caught me."
Yeah, he knows he hit the ball. Bucks almost threw it away again and almost really hurt themselves. 11 seconds to go on that 24-second clock.
Mandy Rudolph is saying, "Don't look at me like that." 11 seconds left on that 24-second clock. Now less than 10. Davis played by JoJo White. Boston by 1. Coming down to a minute and 5 back behind the pass.
No shot.
No shot. No shot. They let it run out.
Pat, I cannot understand why they did not just throw the ball right down into Kareem, who had Hank Finkel playing behind him. They just wasted a lot of time, did absolutely nothing with the ball, have nobody to blame but themselves for turning it over.
Boston now with a chance to increase their 1-point lead. Finkel, Havlicek.
Wait a minute. Goes on.
Great defense by Oscar. John Havlicek dribbled it off of his foot.
The Bucks control. Now 44 seconds left in the game. Wait a minute. Bring it back, says Mindy. He's got things in command. Oscar wants somebody else to throw it in so he can get involved in getting the ball across court.
He was the closest man to the ball when it went out of bounds. He must take it in.
He throws into Dandridge. Dandridge played by Havlicek. He's trying to get it across. They almost threw it away. Oscar does get it across, but just barely. 99-98 Boston. 31 seconds. 30 now left on the game clock. Less than 30. Dandridge throws inside to Davis. His jump shot is good.
What a shot by Mickey Davis. All kinds of pressure. He had nothing but net.
20 seconds now left in the game. Forget the 24-second clock. 16 seconds. I don't think we'll have any more overtime.
Tom Heinsohn wants a timeout. Nobody's calling it.
Havlicek's shot is good.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
7 seconds left in the game.
You're watching the Bucks battle the Celtics on Classic Sports Network.
101 to 100. The first time in a series that both teams have been over the 100 mark, or at least there. Milwaukee was over 100 once in Game 2, but Boston has not made it yet. They lead the series 3-2.
Pat, that one foul on Bob Dandridge where he argued so adamantly against it has been the difference right now. It would be a tie ball game. That one foul right there is the difference in this ball game.
That led, as you might recall, to a 3-point play by John Havlicek. The defense can't bring Boston Garden to its feet. Double overtime, 7 seconds left now. 101 to 100. What a basketball game we've had. Oscar Robertson throws to Kareem. 7 seconds. Finkel, the sky over.
Kareem with a big pressure shot. Nothing but net again. I can't believe the way these players are performing out here, Pat. Just absolutely fantastic. The Celtics will still have the last shot of the basketball game. Here's the pass into Kareem. He looks to get it to Davis. He's not open. takes it himself. Cheney moves over, almost gets to the ball. Kareem picks it up. Here we go. That's going to hit net right there.
Down at the basket. They have 3 seconds in which to get something off. There's the two high scorers of the game. Keep in mind that the clock does not start now until somebody touches it inbound. JoJo White will throw it in this time. Goes to Westfall, to White. His long jump shot is no good. Milwaukee wins it. Milwaukee wins it in double overtime. Double overtime. Milwaukee wins it 102 to 101.